Hello everyone and welcome back to New Game Plus Differences in Dark Souls 2. Today we will be going back to the Huntsman's Copse. I almost said corpse. Going back to the Huntsman's Copse, and today we're going to be taking down the Skeleton Lords. There's actually not too much different in Huntsman's Copse. I don't remember if this was in regular New Game or not, but this seemed fairly significant, so I thought I would bring it up. Now after you clear the mobs in the room to the left back there, two things spawn on either side of you on the very narrow walkway. The best thing that I can come up with as to how to get past them is you might have to take a hit, but you want to roll past the one going backwards back to where you came from. And then depending on your playstyle, if you're melee, you probably want to go in the little alcove over to the left, but the problem with that is if you're not quick dispatching the first one, you're going to have two in there, and that can be a problem. So it's safer to actually take them all the way back to the bridge area. Granted, this could be viewed as maybe a little cheesy, but in my mind, putting two big fat things on a very narrow walkway on either side of you is kind of cheesy as well, so fire with fire, right? Now, like I said, you don't have to do it as cheesy as this, but I didn't exactly have a whole lot of time that day to be recording, and I didn't really want to keep dying over and over trying to do things the fancy way. You can do it the fancy way if you so wish it, if you want to prove your elite skills. I do not, however, have them. The second one, however, I do take care of melee, and it's a bit more fun to watch. But I'm just trying to show you if you are having trouble, how to get past them easily and 100% of the time, unless you get stuck on the walkway, which has been known to happen to me. But as long as you get past the one going backwards, you'll probably be just fine, as long as you don't take crazy risks. Now this one, again, however you want to do it. If you want to kite him back the way you did the first one, or if you want to fight him in melee, it's a bit more risky doing it in melee, as you saw there, but it should also be noted, there is a NPC invader. The way I took care of it was actually very funny, but I decided to cut it out because it really didn't add anything of value. The way I took care of it was simply go back to this room, wait for him right there, right at the doorway, and then stun locked him, pushed him off a cliff. That was it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But for the Skeleton Lords, which is probably the whole reason you're watching this, Skeleton Lords can be the easiest boss in the entire damn game. Easiest one. Or it can be the most hellish boss in the world, depending on either your skill, and your perception skills, or your luck. They're actually tied together, as crazy as that sounds. You're like, how the hell does luck and skill tie together? Well, the skill part comes in if you know which ones summon the bone wheels. You want that one to die last, or maybe first if you're really gung-ho about get the worst out of the way. I'm under the impression you want to save the worst for last, but that's just me, and there's a reason for it I'll get into later. Now, if you know which one's the bone wheel, Skeleton Lord, you save that one for last. That's the skill part. This one, I believe, is the sword and shield skeleton reinforcement wave. At this point, I didn't know which of the other two was which, so I relied on luck. But the vague strategy here, always keep a pillar between you and the Skeleton Lords. It may not be pretty, it may not be action-packed, but it will give you the greatest chance of survival, because you are used to fighting small fries like that in groups, but you're not used to fighting small fries and numerous bosses at once. So divide and conquer, my friends. That's the name of the game here, and if you do it well, you won't have any problems with this boss fight whatsoever. As long as you take care of the ads first and go slowly and steadily, you won't have any problems. That was risky. I actually stayed in one spot a little too long there. But you can see the vague strategy here. Hit and run. Do your best impression of the Viet Cong during the Vietnam War, man. Except minus the whole sharpening sticks and covering them in poo. Don't do that. Well, I guess you could do that. You could throw, oh, what are those things called? Dung pies. You could throw those, but I don't think they work in this fight. But you could if you really want to do your best impression, getting off of that stupid topic. As far as the rest of the fight goes, pick your poison. You gotta take one eventually. If you pick the wrong one, well, the best thing I can give, if you pick the wrong one, like if you pick the bone wheel first, ignore the Skeleton Lords. do not try and take the skeleton lords while bone wheels are rolling all around the place. That's a very, very bad recipe for disaster. You might get charbroiled a few times with fireballs, but they don't hurt that awful much. Just focus on the bone wheels, take them down, at least get 2 down. I think they summon 4. So if you take 2 down, that's half of them. It's a lot easier to dodge 2 bone wheels than it is to dodge 4 and a fireball. If you have to get hit by 1, pick the fireball. As stupid as it sounds, you want to get hit by the fireball instead of the multiple hit stun locking thing, because then you'll get hit by the fireball while you're stun locked. But there I go thinking all logical again. It seems to be a recurring theme with me. But once you got the vague strategy down, it's all execution, folks. There's no secret strategy beyond what I just told you that will make this any easier. You can summon phantoms, excuse me. It does make it a bit easier because, well, the skeleton lords aren't really difficult. It doesn't matter if they get any more health or not. They're still just as easy to kill as they were the first time. I mean, as you can see here, I'm not even going to have to use a single Estus against these things. And having an extra phantom actually really helps when the bone wheels come out, because then you can split up, each take a different bone wheel, and then basically have it done before it starts. Or if you're fast enough, you can actually kill the bone wheels while they're spawning, so you don't actually have to get hit by any of them. As I'll show you right here. Well, I wasn't quite fast enough, just the last one was kind of stupid, so he didn't get a chance to do anything. Hopefully that helped you with the skeleton lord guys and girls out there, and hopefully I shall see you guys next time. As always, feel free to like or even subscribe for easier access to future content. Farewell, everyone.